Welcome back, everybody. I hope you're all well. So I'm about to start a new painting, so I thought I'd bring you with me and just show you how I start and what my process is. So this canvas is one that I did on a previous video. I think there's a video of this one, and it was just using my plant handmade inks on canvas, which had already been covered with natural gesso, which is the white backing. So I've got my reference photo, which I've put on my iPad, and which is a picture that I took myself when I was out on a walk recently. And it's mainly a tree. It's basically a tree, but the background I'm going to do a little bit different. I'm going to keep the background quite abstract. So what I'm doing first of all is just penciling out the main structure of the tree. So I tend to start from either bottom to top or top to bottom and just try and sketch out the largest branches and the structure of the tree that is most obvious before I then go back and start adding some of the smaller branches, but not the really small ones. Those ones I leave until I actually start painting. So what you want to do is, if you're going to sketch out, first of all, is just sketch out the main part that you want to paint. And then once I'm happy with the sketch, I will then go and block it in with a watercolour, which is what I'll do later. that's the outline finished. So now we're ready to start blocking in with some watercolour. So I've just chosen a quite light browny colour to block in. I like going for the light brown because it's, when you start building up the layers, it kind of mixes with the next colours that you put on the top as well and gives it a bit of a warmth undertone. So all I do is just essentially colour in between the lines that I've drawn. And be better, you can see more now where I've drawn. Now this finished tree at this stage is not going to look like much of anything. It's only when we start going in and adding detail that it actually starts to look like a decent tree. You'll see at the minute it just looks a little bit kind of blocky, I guess is the word I'm looking for. But once you start adding the detail, that's when you start just adding some more definition and shapes, and instead of it just being a thick wash of colour, or a thin wash of colour really, and a basic straight up and down shape, you'll start to add all the little bits of knobbly bits of the trees and extra branches, and so the tree takes on structure and definition. But at this stage, all you want is a guide for where you want your tree to be. And then what I'm going to do then is just add in some of the background inks, because I've decided that I want the background to resemble a little bit the picture, because it was the background and the foreground of the image that I really liked. But I'm going to do the background in plant inks and keep it really loose. So we'll just finish blocking in the tree and then we'll get to that. So here I'm just using some clear water just to erase some of the pencil lines or pencil smudges where I haven't painted over them. If you just put a little wash on, it helps just kind of smudge them in. And now I'm going to go in with my plant ink. This one is an acorn ink that is mixed with iron, which made it really, really dark. And first of all, I'm just adding some splashes just to fill in, just to go over some of the areas that got washed with the pencil and the wet water when I smudged it all out. And then I'm going to go in with some acorn ink without iron in to add some pattern to where some of the leafy backgrounds are. In this background piece there's some pine trees in the background which have pine needles on, and they give a nice shape, so I'm just going to go in and kind of give an idea, an impression of those shapes behind. I'm just extending some of the ink here to look like branches. And once this is dried, I'll probably go over and define this with some watercolour. But I just wanted to do some inks to start off with. So I'm nearly finished for now, and then I just need to let everything dry, especially the ink. The ink seems to take quite a while to dry, and once it's dry, I'll then go back to the background and just start adding some more detail in lighter colours to the background, just to define the parts that I want. And then I'll start adding all of the details to the main tree and making the tree look like a tree. And this tree is really interesting because it's actually completely covered with moss, which will be interesting to see. So I'll work on that in my shorts. Let's have a look at those, and I'll see you soon. Take care, everybody. Bye. Thanks for watching.